Hello to all of my inquisitive viewers out there. I am a humble remembrancer here to discuss Descent of Angels. This story takes a deeper look at the Dark Angels and how they came about from a traditional knightly order. The sort of loosely ins and outs of how the knightly order originally was, and how that translates into the 30k Dark Angels, and then eventually, of course, the 40k Dark Angels, and all of their various hidden secrets. Woo! The greatest thing about the story, the thing that it really has going for it, is that it can be read as a standalone fantasy story without having to have anything to do with 40k or 30k, respectively. It's just a straight up, you have some knights, they're fighting some monsters, at least for the first half before the Imperium gets involved. I honestly prefer the first half to the second half. The first half feels like an actual, like, okay, we're learning these characters. We're getting to know their ins and outs. We're getting to learn this culture. The second half is more of just, okay, these are Space Marines. They're doing Space Marine stuff. Let's go. Let's get on it. Don't get me wrong. Love that 100%. It's awesome. But the first half just has so much more, I guess you could say, spirit to it. We get our first real look at the Watchers in the Dark, and oh my, they are terrifying. You really felt this ominous threat about them that, yes, they are just kind of like the aliens in the background that never really seem to do much. They're just kind of like the power behind the power and all that. But you get the feeling that if push came to shove, they could wreck some faces. As for where this falls in the greater 40k and 30k scale, and of course the Horus Heresy as a whole, it's not necessary reading unless you're really wanting to dive into the Dark Angels. But even though it's not necessary, I would say if you're interested in the Horus Heresy and the Dark Angels in any way, definitely give it a shot because it's good character writing. It's not necessarily important to the overall plot to a huge degree, other than getting to know certain characters, but it's still worth your time. The book has a way of fun characters, such as the two twins that are always trying to one up each other. You, of course, have the time wearied old man who is giving them wisdom and, like, oh, back in my day sort of thing. You have the lion being his big, inspiring self. You have Luthor, his right hand, arguably coming to terms with exactly where he fits on this totem pole and if he's prepared to be second rung for the rest of his days. I'm not going to go too much into spoilers on that, but needless to say, that is a key part of not just this book, but of the entire Dark Angels trilogy as it continues throughout the Heresy. Overall, I give this story a good 4 stars out of 5. It's a really good start to the trilogy, and I'm hoping the second book can further on what was already planted so firmly in this book.